doing anything?
Yes,
Hey.
we are live.
Hi.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone.
So I'm Adrian Urenal from Cape Town, South Africa.
And I am Carla Zavala from Peru. And together we are Internet Teapot, a research and design studio based in Rotterdam. We work on critical design projects at the intersection of digital and material, with a methodology of exploratory design research and critical praxis.
So welcome to the Algorithms of Late-Capitalism online Zine co-creation workshop. This is the second edition of this workshop that we are presenting. The first was at controlZ.ai in Barcelona in January. And the second one was supposed to be in Berlin today. But obviously due to certain quarantine circumstances, we had to do something a bit more experimental. So obviously a co-creation or collaborative workshop traditionally relies on face-to-face interaction and actually being together around the table or something like that. So we are experimenting with the format to see how we can translate that social exchange and social space into something digital, where everybody is isolated but at the same time technologically interconnected. So we really want to invite you to stick around for the next 2 hours to interact, to engage, and together we're going to try and create something cool. We are super excited to give this a try and see what happens, so bear with us if there are any glitches, and please let us know in the chat in YouTube or later in Google Hangouts when we share that link if the sound is not there, or inversely if there's like an echo chamber of too much sound. Sorry.
This workshop is going to consist of us co-creating a single zine, which will be the second issue of Algorithms of Late-Capitalism. Before we start, we quickly want to explain the structure and dynamics of this workshop. We have divided the workshop into 4 parts. First, the editorial briefing. Here, we are going to present what Algorithms of Late Capitalism is and talk about the theme of the zine that you are going to work with. Secondly, the tutorial. Thus, after the editorial briefing, we are going to give you access to resources, show you how to compose your contribution, and do a quick tutorial. After that, we will also tell you how to submit your contribution. The third step is the making, which is the fun part, where we give you an hour to create your contribution at home. It is important to keep in mind that this is a time-based event, so we will also notify you how much time you have left. Additionally, we are also going to share a Google Hangouts link on the chat, so everybody who wants can interact or ask questions. Finally, we will have a wrap-up. It will take place at 17:30 Central European Time. This is a space where everyone can present their contribution.
So the end goals of this workshop is by the end of this 2 hours to have a complete zine, the so-called master copy. And this zine, me and Carla will then compile after the workshop, and it will go onto the Digital Feminism online library, as well as the Algorithms of Late-Capitalism blog, and perhaps some other places eventually. We will also send you both the digital version and the print-ready version of this master copy if you want to print it yourself or distribute it. So we will make sure to get your emails by the end of this workshop. Probably you can just send it to us in the Google Hangout later, or email us at internetteapot@gmail.com. We really want to emphasize that this is something we create together, and that everyone who contributes to the zine issue will have ownership of it. So this workshop also has a bit of a transformative goal in line with principles of critical making, where hand-on production or hand-on activities can also be used as a way to prompt conceptual exploration of a topic. So through the process of ideation, curation, and design, we would like this workshop to be a space where we can all critically engage with the role technology plays in our lives. Just on a topical side note, we are also recording this live stream. So when we are sharing the Google Hangouts, if you don't want to be in that recording or anything like that, just let us know. Yeah. So what is Algorithms of Late-Capitalism? It's a project that we started as a Tumblr blog and an Instagram page where we curate tech news, memes, and found images that reflect some of the absurdities of digital technology and how it is shaped by global market forces. The idea behind it is firstly to be fun, but then also it has this underpinning of digital materialism. Digital materialism is this kind of theoretical framework that argues against seeing technology as purely technical or purely mechanical. Rather, it argues that technology consists of a socio-technical assemblage. This means that each piece of digital software or digital technology that you interact with in the world contains within its algorithmic logic, within its interface design, within the very running code that makes it work, certain cultural values. It can never be divorced from the conditions under which it was produced, distributed, and eventually used. On the one hand, this means that the political and economic logic of late capital power structures are materially embedded in software. On the other hand, it means that by looking critically at software, we can also understand something about the world we live in. Software has become both a producer and a product of contemporary culture and social order. We both come from this kind of research field called software studies, which at its methodological core gives theoretical frameworks for thinking about how software is constitutive of, situated in, and does work in the world. As Lev Manovich wrote, if we don't address software itself, we are in danger of always dealing with effects rather than causes, the outputs that appear on a computer screen rather than the programs and social cultures that produce this output. So perhaps just a quick self-reflective disclaimer here. We are aware of the irony of using proprietary and data harvesting platforms such as YouTube and Google Drive. This irony is not lost on us. I think we would have loved to use open source or even encrypted tools instead of Google products, but the pandemic really caught everyone a bit unprepared. But we're also thinking of it in terms of that if this workshop goes well, we will definitely think of how we can make it a bit more technologically conscientious in future. And if any of you have any suggestions or comments on this, please let us know. So just to give you an example of the kind of things that we kind of put on Algorithms of Late-Capitalism is the so-called Bookgate. So in 2016, a journalist's mother got her Instagram account banned because she was posting some of her baked goods, and Instagram's machine learning content moderation algorithm flagged her simulcake as a nipple on top of a breast. And that obviously violated their content policies, and she could not understand why Instagram would react this way to a cake. So this is obviously very funny and a bit humorous, but behind this humor is this kind of shocking absurdity that global digital culture is effectively moderated by algorithms. And these are algorithms that are computationally indiscriminate when enforcing corporate guidelines and policies on a massive scale. It is not a moral judgment passed by this algorithm, but rather corporate moral computationally enforced by a machine learning system. So for our first workshop, we decided to turn this blog into a zine. For those of you who don't know, zines are small circulation self-published works of either original content or remixed content. Basically, it's a DIY magazine, but there's a whole culture and ethos to zine making. It's not just about the end product that you get. Zines were born as part of countercultural discourse and anti-commodity kind of publishing, providing an opportunity for creative self-expression, political or social activism, as well as community connection and collaboration. The act of appropriation and reappropriation of media images is important, as through this, the zine maker acts in and against mass media and culture. It's both a participative and a subversive act. Tech zines have the same ethos, working with and against digital technology, especially as zine creation and distribution moves from print to digital. Perhaps in this, using YouTube and Google Drive to facilitate such internationally cooperative software criticism can be seen as a little bit of a subversive act in its own right. Our first zine was titled Things We Taught Machines to Do and focused on machine learning and algorithmic biases. But for us, it really wasn't about the end goal of having a zine that we can do something with after the workshop. It was more about this idea of the zine co-creation workshop. We wanted to use these found internet images and articles and critically investigate them through letting people recontextualize, decode and recode them through this creative process of remixing and turning them into little stories, comics, collages, or even visual poems.
Thus, without further ado, we present here the cover for the second issue of Algorithms of Late-Capitalism theme. For this edition, we propose the theme Embodied Surveillance. Allow me to read for you the editorial. With the global COVID-19 pandemic causing worldwide disruption to all sectors of life, solutions that track the spread of the virus by surveillance bodies and biomedical data are proving successful. In China, Israel, and South Korea, governments are using smartphone apps to covertly and overtly identify, monitor, and control those infected, tracing who they have come into contact with, and alerting police when prohibited movements occur. Yet, it is worth asking to what extent these technopolitical practices will remain in play after the quarantines. The physical body has long been incorporated as computational data, from the birth of biometrics during the slave trade to smart vibrators that harvest your sexual data for third-party marketing. Face recognition likewise uses individual phraseology as data points that can be deployed to computationally profile and police citizenry. Ownership over data equals control, and when the data becomes embodied, it computationally extends hegemonic power relationships. The control over bodies, female bodies, disabled bodies, non-white bodies, non-cis bodies, has entered the algorithmic era of big data surveillance. It is easy to forget that data is not just abstract bits and spreadsheet entries. Now, let's start to run the program. Each of you are invited to compose and submit a page between this frame. In this page, you can communicate your take on this topic using either the curated content from the blog or proposing other examples that are relevant to the theme. The theme itself is intended as a provocation or a lever to set all the participants to reflect on the selected content or proposed content and share your thoughts from different angles. For us, this theme in the framework of digital feminism hot mess can usefully be investigated from a feminist or queer perspective. We are all data. This we is not a uniform entity. It is characterized by both marginalizing and privileging differences. With new technologies, all inequalities are reappearing in novel and unexpected forms in this context. Feminist theory refocused to include new social domains, for example, the internet, and the potential for new allied voices. Feminist theory also provides tools to identify and examine the structural and discursive elements of social phenomena that otherwise are often overlooked because they are thought of as belonging to the domain of computer science or engineering. This positionality allows us to understand the digital and digitality as extensions of, not separate from, the social power relations that permeate our everyday lives, and that have so often been deployed as ways to physically police the other. For example, contemporary surveillance heavily relies on statistical categories and algorithms, resulting in effective mechanisms of social sorting. Unsurprisingly, The unspoken norm all data bodies are measured against is once again white cis male heterosexuality, and all other bodies are categorized as deviations. Topics such as digital surveillance, big data, data protection, data privacy can be then approached under these theories. Some prompts that might as well help the discussion of the content and composition of your collaborations for the scene are: whose worldview is implicitly or explicitly represented? To what effect? How does your page expose the way that tech is built, or the way we think about technology? Digital feminism also offers us the space to ask, how can these discourses be reversed? How can technology be subverted as a site or tool of resistance? And position us to ask what kind of innovation and progress we as society and as individuals really want. Innovation that benefits the few or that benefits the many.
Okay, so now we're just going to do a quick tutorial to show all of you where to find the material and how to use it, and then also how to submit it to us again. So I think Carla's just going to share in the YouTube chat the Gmail, the Google Drive link and the the Google Hangout link.
Yes.
Yes.
Both of them share.
Okay, so in the Google Drive, we kind of put all the content. We are going to upload I don't know, Carla, did you upload the presentation here as well?
About to.
Okay, so we'll upload the presentation here as well, just if you want to refer back to anything. We also uploaded the issues cover and editorial if you want to just refer to that again. But so really it comes to these three folders. Firstly, you have the template folder. Inside of there, you'll find two files, which are basically the same thing. The one is just a EPS file if you want to use Photoshop or Illustrator. The other one is a JPEG. So really, you can use this as a basis for your page. It looks like this, and there's a kind of pagination at the bottom that you can just leave. We'll fill in the page numbers at the end. If you don't want to do it on your computer, if you do want to do it by hand, you can just use a A5, well, like a half of a A4, and just leave the bottom part open for us to add the page number thing at the bottom in the end. But really, it's about everybody having the same kind of dimensions and the same resolution when you're working on a computer. If you're not working on a computer, just make sure you have a way to either scan it in or take a high quality photo that you can send to us in the end to include. So you can download these files or one of these files and then open it in Photoshop or Paint. And then the second folder is the images folder. So here you'll find a lot of content from the blog and some extra things, a few things that people have actually submitted to us for this workshop. Take a look at the file names, because sometimes there's a 1 and a 2, which means it's kind of part of the same story. You don't have to use any of this in the end. You're also free to use them as sources of inspiration or as prompts. And you're also obviously welcome to go look for your own or dive deeper into a certain story. These are really for you to use however you want. You know, cut and paste them, trace them, glitch them up, put filters on, anything you like. So we also uploaded a couple of quotes that you can also take a look at and use if you want. Some of them are from software studies authors, some of them are from cyberfeminists such as Donna Haraway, and a couple are from this school of, what's it called, surveillance studies and feminist surveillance studies. In the presentation that we're going to upload, you can also find at the last slide some resources that you can take a look at for inspiration. An important one is the Digital Feminism Zine library. There will be a link to that in the end of the presentation. So once you have your template and you've taken a look at the images, you can also go into assets, and here are a couple of textures and background images and some like surveillance drone footage and things like that. These are basically for you to start thinking of what the aesthetics of your page are going to be, or use them as kind of backgrounds or borders or anything you really like. We didn't put so much effort into searching for these because we also thought that it will be nice if you go and find some that you would like to use. You're free to go and Google whatever you want and then use them as resources. So, Carla, where are we now?
I am sending our links.
So Carla is going to send the links now. And this is basically it. So importantly is that you also include a title for your page. We would prefer it if you include this, or if you make this part of your composition. Think of it as a kind of magazine story with a headline, even a subheading if you want. In terms of what you're actually going to do on the page, that's really up to you. You can do a comic, you can do a digital collage, a visual poem. You can even do something that's more text-based. You can do a short essay. You can do a literal poem if you want. It's really up to you. And I think it's kind of important for us that it's also a collection of different voices and different perspectives. It wouldn't make sense if everybody had to do the same thing or stick to the same style or even stick to the same kind of editorial kind of framework of just doing a article or just doing a collage. So that's about it for the tutorial. We are going to put up a timer that's going to give you an hour to make your page. We encourage you to kind of relax, try to kind of let your mind go, put on some music or something. We are going to also be in the Google Hangouts. You're encouraged to kind of chat there if you want, or to drop resources if you find something interesting. If you have any questions, if any of this is unclear, also just send us a message either in the YouTube chat or in the Google Hangouts.
Or in the mail someone actually brought to us, and we already replied to them with the links.
Yeah, so keep an eye on the time, and I think we'll kind of check in with you in half an hour and see how it's going. Okay, so good luck, and really feel free to talk with us or to one another and share your ideas if you're uncertain about them, or if you want somebody to give you some input or anything like that. Okay, good luck.
No, wait. Now.
Now we're in the Google Hangouts chat.
Yes, now we are.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, you can just send us a message or...
Yeah, we will be here replying. Yeah. Either it is by mail, the chat. We are here to also...
Is there anybody in the Google Hangouts that actually...
Not yet, I think.
But we're also still streaming. But that's good. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. So we will be here, and we will be keeping an eye on our chats, and both the YouTube chat and the Google Hangouts.
It's in the description if you read.
We are receiving some messages on like the link not being shared. We have put it on the YouTube description, in the video description, and we are also copy pasting it a lot of times in the chat. So otherwise, if you write us to internetteapot@gmail.com, we can quickly send you the links as well there.
It's in the description if you read.
We are receiving some messages on like the link not being shared. We have put it on the YouTube description, in the video description, and we are also copy pasting it a lot of times in the chat. So otherwise, internetteapot@gmail.com, we can quickly send you the links as well there.
It's in the description if you read.
We are receiving some messages on like the link not being shared. We have put it on the YouTube description, in the video description, and we are also copy pasting it a lot of times in the chat. So otherwise, internetteapot@gmail.com, we can quickly send you the links as well there.
It's in the description if you read.
We are receiving some messages on like the link not being shared. We have put it on the YouTube description, in the video description, and we are also copy pasting it a lot of times in the chat. So otherwise, internetteapot@gmail.com, we can quickly send you the links as well there.
It's in the description if you read.
We are receiving some messages on like the link not being shared. We have put it on the YouTube description, in the video description, and we are also copy pasting it a lot of times in the chat. So otherwise, internetteapot@gmail.com, we can quickly send you the links as well there.
It's in the description if you read.
We are receiving some messages on like the link not being shared. We have put it on the YouTube description, in the video description, and we are also copy pasting it a lot of times in the chat. So otherwise, internetteapot@gmail.com, we can quickly send you the links as well there.
It's in the description if you read. Hello.
Hi, Leah.
Hi. Oh, I actually
Thank you for joining.
yes. I just wanted to figure out I don't know what to do. I no, and I thought like maybe everyone's talking in the video chat, so I just tapped on the video symbol.
But
that's
that's
fine, yeah.
great. We can also tell you again how to work. So basically, there is a Google Hangouts link. There you will find like 3 folders. One is the templates. Maybe Adrian, you can explain the content there.
Yeah, so in the templates folder, there's like a, I think the easiest is just to use the JPEG, but so it's just the A5. And the idea is that you use that as kind of your canvas, whether you're using Photoshop or Illustrator or even like Paint. So it's really whatever. And within that canvas, you can create like your contribution to the overall volume. So this can be anything from like a kind of like a written piece to a kind of a collage or anything like that. The in the Google Drive, there's also a folder called Images. So there you'll find most of the content from the blog. So these are all the kind of like algorithms of late capitalism kind of posts. And the idea is really that you use these either as like sources of kind of inspiration, or that you use these as kind of found images that you can remix or play with,
or even take them as inspiration to create your own page, your own drawing, your own comic, your own poem, your own.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so I think a good place to start is also to think of it in terms of like a magazine article or something, because in the end we'd like to have everyone have like a headline for their page, which is kind of like as a headline, and then each one telling like a little bit of a story. And the idea is really that you use these either as like sources of kind of inspiration, or that you use these as kind of found images that you can remix or play with,
Or even take them as inspiration to create your own page. Our topic is between the frame of the digital feminism hot mess, and it's basically the theme is embodied surveillance, which is how feminist or like what kind of perspectives can feminist theories and queer theories bring into the discussions of these found images and of this technology that it's being used and deployed in many intimate aspects and social aspects of our daily lives.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah.
Then see you later.
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye.
Our topic is between the frame of the digital feminism hot mess, and it's basically the theme is embodied surveillance, which is how feminist or like what kind of perspectives can feminist theories and queer theories
bring into the discussions of these found images and of this technology that it's being used and deployed in many intimate aspects and social aspects of our daily lives.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And see
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye.
Back and forth, and then like just sharing the pieces. So this is actually how it might it looked, the first edition. This is also available
Right, you know what,
in
it's like lagging or something. Right, there we go. Okay.
okay, some technical problems. So for example, these are pages that some contributors did. This is called stupid shit. Nobody needs and terrible ideas. Hackathon. That some contributors did. This is called stupid shit. Nobody needs and terrible ideas. Hackathon. That some contributors did. This is called stupid shit. Nobody needs and terrible ideas. So it's basically you can even do a screenshot of your computer, of your desktop with some images, some texts. The idea is to create collage and to give other meanings and remixing the content.
Hi, Nele.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm
Did
sorry
you?
I'm late.
No, it's
No, it's
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
So
Skills aren't good enough to put it within the template.
Oh, but you can open it maybe on Paint
Mhm.
or yes, like the idea is for you to use the skills you have. Like it's not, and everybody has different
yeah,
approaches and aesthetics, so that's no problem at all.
yeah, and if you can't get the template to work, you can also just make it dimensions of an A5, and we can just put it in a template at the end.
Yes.
I think mainly the
Okay.
template was also just like the space at the bottom for the page numbers and things like that.
Mhm.
So it's an orientation frame.
Yes, yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and to kind of just like make it easy to just open that and work within that as a kind of a canvas. Yeah, so yeah, there's the template and then there's the content. If you've seen that already.
I have, yeah.
So you don't have to use any of that. You can also just use that as inspiration. You can find your own stuff if you want. And there's some quotes as well. And then also just some kind of decorative kind of elements in the assets folder.
To read as well the editorial, which is basically approach of feminism and queer theories on for example surveillance, big data, data privacy, face recognition, etc. So it is a feminist case on these technological topics.
Yeah, and also like feel free to do piece to be like it can also be like essay or like
Even a poem,
or a short story or something like
yeah,
that if you feel like doing
or like a little comic strip, whatever you think you want to do.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. And how long do I have time?
You have 30 minutes yet.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you wanna,
I'll try to get to it then.
yes.
Yes.
If you want to take longer, that's also fine. You can send it to us. But like the idea was that everybody who wants can like present their things at the end. But if you are still busy working, you can just send us like sometime later. That's also cool.
And how do I see the finished result? Will it be in the Google?
Yes, in
Yeah.
the Drive, in the Digital Feminism website, and in Algorithms of Late-Capitalism in the Tumblr and
Yeah.
Will it include section based on what's most fitting?
Sorry.
Will it include everything that's sent in, or
and we will have to figure it out and also to put it for printing, etc. But like everything gets in the edition.
that's amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks
Great.
for taking the time to explain again.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Hi, Leo. Do you hear us?
Hello? Hello?
So, for the people who are asking us how to submit their contributions, You can email them to internetteapot@gmail.com. We will compile it, and of course you can present if you want as well. If you don't want to present, it's also all right, but it will be very interesting for all of the participants to listen to the text on this topic from
Hello, everybody. So we are back on the live stream now. I think there's a little bit of a delay between the chat and the stream, so we're going to try to make this work. So what we want to do is we want to present the contributions of those who've sent us something. And then also it would be really cool if whoever made that thing wants to present it and maybe say a little bit about what's going on or why they made that or what the thought process was.
Super short, it can be long,
Yeah.
it can be short, whatever you feel like.
Okay, so how are we going to do this? So we're just going to start with what do we have so far, Carla?
We have 4 contributions.
Shall we start with the lucid dreams?
Let's start with lucid dreams.
Okay, maybe like this.
We have 2 more contributions. I am uploading them to the
Okay, so who made this one?
PR Hope.
Okay, so if in the Google chat you can just let us know if you want to present it or not. You can join.
Christina.
Okay, Christina, if you want to say something about your piece, you can just go into the Google chat and join the video call, and then that will get streamed on YouTube. That will also be okay, but I think it will be really cool for everybody to see what you did and just say a few short words about it. Okay, I think we have to wait for the delay now. Carla?
Yes.
We have a presenter.
Actually, it's mine. The lucid dream is my.
Cool. Sorry.
Zine? No problem.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just came really spontaneously out of the Google search. Discovered this lucid dream device recently, which is like. Oh, I hear a feedback. Okay, I don't know.
I think it's my fault.
Is that better?
But you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, and you can, I don't know, use this device in order to have some kind of lucid dream experience. And I found it really interesting, this kind of neoliberal reaching your dreams and getting your highest potential. And yeah, I was just wondering, what do people dream of who live in this world of yeah, the market and making profits and yeah, capitalism.
Yeah,
and,
we actually watched the first Matrix like 2 nights ago because it's on Netflix, and I think this is so relevant because it's like always these themes of like the dream and the reality, but it's also about like the technological structures surrounding those kind of dualities and things like that.
Yeah, that's just it.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leah, for your contribution.
Who is next, Carla?
Show me the image you have. This is Felicia.
Felicia.
Yes. Phil Kras.
Phil, if you want to present your thing, let us know.
Now we have to wait for the delay.
If you don't want to present, that's also okay. Just Carla, there's somebody on the call, I think. No.
Not yet.
Here we go.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I need to mute. Okay. Hello.
1 second. I think you are hearing delay, right?
Yeah, I had the same when I did my.
1 moment.
Yeah, we tried like figuring out like what to do, which because we're on like 2 desktops, so it's like which ones should we use for what and which ones should we mute for when.
Yeah.
So now we are sharing earphones, so you don't hear the delay now.
Hopefully. Yeah. So go ahead.
I think. Could I start talking?
Yes.
Yes, please. We want to hear you.
So I've been getting ads on Facebook for this website called Wish, Shopping Made Fun, and I just keep remembering them because it's so interesting to just scroll through them. It's like a limitless list, and usually it starts with quite irrelevant things like right now it's usually Corona masks or toilet paper or like a cute dress, and then as you keep scrolling, it just gets more and more perverted and sexual. And it's just the most obscene products. Like on the top, for example, is a thing you can put in your pants to make your penis look bigger for €1. And I found it so interesting, these products, especially because I don't even know if they're real or not. Like I always, if you order something there, for example, underneath is like a lotion you can put on your breasts to increase them for cup sizes. And it's, I don't even know, like, but they seem to put so much money on their Facebook ads. And I thought in times of Corona, where everything is happening online, it's so interesting to think about what a huge role of online commerce there is actually. So many products, and every one of these products at some point someone developed, someone designed, someone produced, and I'm just completely fascinated by the limitless possibilities of online shopping, especially because I also think, coming back to the surveillance topic, I think that things you get shown on this feed are somewhat targeted to you or tailored to your browser behavior. So this is also for me quite shocking because I promise I never looked for boob enhancements online, but somewhere there's an algorithm that decided this is what I should be interested in. So this is super fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's always interesting to think of like what the algorithms would think of you, or like I always think like when you see somebody's YouTube kind of recommendations, then you think like that's the algorithm forming a judgment or an opinion about that person that we interpret with some kind of like cultural value, you know, like oh my god, like this person watches so many videos of I don't know what.
Yeah, and also it's also kind of like a profiling. So if you like A and B, probably you like C. So it's kind of like a prediction algorithm that might say, if you're in, like, I think it happens a lot in Amazon, like if you're interested in this product, then you should buy this one. But also what calls my attention, I think it's, I have seen these things, like, for example, it's less problematic, but they sell t-shirts. So for example, I don't know, if you categorize as Latino, they say Latino power, and then they sell and craft that t-shirt for you. They haven't actually produced. It doesn't exist, but only when you order. Exactly. So I was thinking, how many of these are not only algorithmic imagine it like algorithmic
Yeah,
production,
yeah,
of like if if you
Like,
mix the
does
two
the
most
pigeon capture device really exist, or will they only produce it for you so you can capture a pigeon?
yeah.
exactly.
And maybe there's like these algorithms that just put keywords together with random products, you know,
And then mesh.
penis and this like push up, and then like, okay, this is a product now that we can potentially create and sell if somebody clicks on the ad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very interesting how
Yeah.
how algorithms start creating their own fictions.
Well, thank you very much. That's an awesome
Yeah,
page.
thank you. Thank you for the workshop.
Yeah. Okay, Carla, is there?
Yes, we have more.
Okay, which one is next? Can you just give me a name?
Okay, put them online and I'll give you the name. Select one.
Okay, Annie Sparts. Maybe, okay, we can do this
Nadia.
one. Nadia.
Yes.
Nadia.
We have 3 more contributions coming in.
Yeah, thank you guys a lot. It's awesome to see what you are making, and it looks very cool. Okay, so this is Nadia's. Just waiting a second to see if she wants to get on the call.
I'm waiting for the delay as well.
No, doesn't work. Maybe we can go to the next one and then come back to this one if Nadia wants to present.
Select one and I'll let you know.
Okay. Let's do VR Hope, maybe?
VR Hope.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check.
Right, somebody's writing on the chat now. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Switch laptops. Okay, who's next, Carla? I think you need to give me the person's name and I'll find their contribution in the drive.
Maybe Annie Kari?
Okay. Okay, so let's see if this one is cool. Very well done. It reminds me of the meme that's been going around of where is all the books in the coronavirus context of social distancing. It's 2 pages. Awesome.
Wow, that's great.
It's where is the robot and manipulate the algorithm.
Right.
And there we have the genderless nipple. There we go. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Annie.
Thank you for sending your pages. It looks super cool.
No worries. So I'm Nadia now. So I think you already switched. Yeah.
Yes, Nadia.
Yeah.
Like
I'm like the weird
with the microscope.
um,
And
just,
Annie also just got here.
yeah.
Yes.
But you can stay on if you want, and then we'll
Yes,
do
and
yours
then we
next.
move to your
All right,
text.
cool.
Great.
Yeah, Annie, you want to talk about your first page first or your second page? I'm not hearing you.
Annie, I think you are on mute.
No? Yeah, I can't hear.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. This unmuted now. Hello? No, still don't hear you. Can you hear us? It's always an awkward situation. Okay, maybe we can go to Nadia and
Yes, and
we can come back.
to Annie.
Okay,
Or
wait.
wait.
Maybe we have a solution to the problem.
No.
No. See, it's still not getting you now. Yeah, okay. Let's see if we can come back to her after this. Nadia, are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, can we do it? Yours is.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, it's showing now.
Cool. Yeah, so it's pretty random. It's just like a digital collage, I guess. It's kind of a commentary on, I guess, how we're trying more and more to like quantify our bodies or just like quantify human beings from very simple things like, you know, having a Fitbit to count your steps or like a sleep tracker to like much more complex things like now, you know, algorithmically trying to determine your personality type, or there's even weird ass algorithms that they determine your sexual orientation, like your face structure. And I think this is quite fascinating, just how we're using technology and machine learning almost as a lens to kind of perceive and quantify ourselves through. So yeah, that's my collage.
Super cool.
It's very interesting. I think also because this thing of the I cannot pronounce his name, but this writer of the Burnout Society, he says that in this new society of like what was its name? Basically, he's saying we are always being trying to measure ourselves in every sense to be productive in every little detail of our that lives. And I think basically quantifying yourself, quantifying all your stats can be as well a little bit of like enslaving yourself to productivity and stuff like that.
There's a writer who writes about algorithms a lot. I think it's Andrew Coffey who has this super nice quote that's something like, you either have to consign yourself to the data structures or yourself to data oblivion, which I think is a cool thing because it's like you either have to participate in these structures or you have to be okay with just living off the grid. And not benefiting from. The post that I also put on the blog a while ago was somebody who tried using Android phone by switching off.
Without all the Google,
Yeah, and they said it's basically a brick you're left with, so it's that thing. Much.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for hosting this, guys. Really fun activity.
Yeah, that's good. Good to hear that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nadia.
Bye.
Okay, so I think we're gonna try to just everybody get on the Google Hangouts. I'm not sure if there's a limit, but if you can't get on, then you can also see the live stream. But maybe to just delay, everybody who's finished can join the Google Hangouts and present their thing from there.
Mm-hmm. Can we?
So there's already somebody in here. Or is it Nelly?
Nelly.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Let's
I just
quickly.
thought I'd
It's this one.
Which one is yours?
That
This one.
Yeah.
How shall we do this?
There is also.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe we can. You can present yours.
Yeah. I put on the video.
Yes. Yes, if you can. Yeah.
I'm trying.
Okay. Maybe I can.
Okay, so video is not working somehow.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna try screen sharing it as well.
Okay. So yeah,
which one is it?
send it in.
Yeah. Contribution first. This one. No. Okay, so I'm sharing the Google Drive now. So Nele is going to present it, please. It's on my screen if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah, so this is, maybe you can't read it, but from a correspondence to a manuscript that I wrote while spending time volunteering on the Greek island of Lesbos a few years ago. And it touches upon themes of bordership and privilege in choosing how and what you consider when it comes to the so-called refugee crisis, but also like how that's presented. And I was just, while I was to me there, I was just constantly questioning how superficial digital messages really are. Messages to people about what was happening. It just felt like they would instantly disappear into an endless void of surface once they were read. Well, in contrast, like written word correspondences in like analog archives are still a huge part of how we consider viewing and writing history in the past. And I was just wondering, how will we remember this in the future?
Yeah.
If it's only documented, like digital spaces, like maybe threads that just instantly disappear. Where does this go once it's read? So that's what.
I think this is one of the main questions of cultural preservation and memory studies, right? Like, how can you preserve something that sometimes is online? And there is this author, Wendy Chun, I believe. She writes that memory it's Wendy Chun, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, that says that memory is not memory. Memory is only happens when you actualize it. So I think that's very interesting.
There's like a difference between memory and storage, where storage is kind of static. It's like read-only memory, but real memory is like RAM, which is random access, and it's something that's continually renewed. And I think people make this assumption that if something's in storage, that it's in memory, but it isn't actually.
Right.
Like this saying, like you kind of wonder what gets lost.
And also, what are the images and words we're going to remember this by? Is it really dead children on the sand? Like, should that be the images we remember this by? It just keeps circling in my head, and it's still as present as ever. So that's why I thought I sent this.
Yeah. Thank you a lot. It's super cool.
Thank you.
Great
idea.
Yeah. Okay. Who wants to go next? How are we going to do this? I think maybe, Pimi, I see you there. You want to quickly present yours? 5 minutes, okay.
In 5 minutes, okay, perfect.
Okay. Annie, you want to try again? Okay.
Do you hear
There
me?
we go. Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about the first one. I was actually just thinking about like these. First, I wanted to try to put the robot. That's like this field you always have to sign, like, yes, I'm not a robot. And I was just thinking, like, how far it will go. And it's kind of, then I was remembering this game when I was little, and you always have to search, how, I don't know, is it called in English, the Waldo?
Yes, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I think Wally as well.
Yeah.
Where's Wally, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like, and then I was just like, it's kind of the new game of where is the robot, and it's like one of things isn't there hasn't a sign up.
Yeah, I like it a lot because like these where is Waldo or where's Wally things are also like the Wally are kind of like these uncanny doppelgangers. So they're just like a little bit off, and I think that's interesting to think of artificial intelligence and kind of spam bots and things like that as well. Like they try to mimic human behavior and human I don't know, human everything, but it's always like it's something a little bit off. Like it's always like off color, like the yellow boulders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Glitch in the matrix.
Yes. Very cool. And your second piece?
Yeah, I was actually just try to think like in a really simple way. So I was just thinking about like these sensor. Do you say sensor? And not.
Yeah.
That like you're not allowed to put nipples on Instagram, and that was like my put Instagram is that I just put a sticker on my laptop on the Instagram page.
I love that. And I think for anybody who didn't see where, am I correct in saying that nipple is from the one post that was about Instagram account called like genderless nipple? Of nipples, but you couldn't tell if it was male or female or anything. Really, and you know, it kind of shows you that Instagram itself doesn't. It distinguishes between male and female nipples in its policies, but not in what the algorithm actually censors.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, I think also the Facebook privacy, picture policies have the same thing. Like, for example, I think there is a article I read that they interviewed people who kind of review the content, and they had like so crazy things like if there is only 1/4 of the nipple showing, then it is okay. Like it is kind of very very regulating female body on the internet, basically.
It's a nice way of defining the algorithm. Like
I was just trying to like think as simple as possible, like for yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for joining that. It was really cool.
Yes, I enjoyed this a lot. Okay. Who's next?
Pimi.
Okay. Pimi, are you ready? I think you're on mute. There you go.
Yes. I'm hearing loud. Do you listen to me?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a very now considered vintage because Drake meme is already old school. And it's about some, you are policies and we have our own, but worldwide on the internet, there's another kind of policies that we're from, we're still subject to that. So, for example, some things that's been happening to me or I've been seeing happening in my country is a lot of groups or content has been banned on Facebook and Instagram, and it's about healthcare, women health, access to abortion or information about breastfeeding. That's not even artistic or content, is just women health, and it's been regulated around the world via internet policies. But some other type of content, like real illegal content, as hate speech, neo-Nazis groups, or even selling kids. Here in my country, we had a thing happening last year that a lot of Facebook groups selling children were very popular. And there was a massive campaign to shut them down. And all the message we get from Facebook was, sorry, it doesn't violate our community standards. So you can put, I don't know, female bodies to sell products. You can use hate speech. You can sell your own kids or children or whatever, but you can't promote or sell things being related to women healthcare. And well, it was a very fast comic I tried to do, and
it's very cool. Did you draw the cartoons?
yeah, I tried to.
Cool, nice. Looks very cool.
Thank you, Pimi.
Yeah, it kind of reminds us of this thing that a lot of the times on Facebook doesn't censor these very controversial things like something about child slavery or the adverse after the inverse, where they censor something like artwork
or
that
historical pictures.
That it's only when there's like public outcry that they kind of reverse that policy.
Or to have like taken action on individual entries.
And I think it goes to show that these policies are also just informed by their PR priorities. It's not because somebody at Facebook has certain moral standards. It's because it's good business.
Your piece shows that. Thank you very much, Pimi.
Thank you. Okay.
Carmen.
Carmen, you want to present? Carmen's.
Checking.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, which one is yours?
The one with the unnamed.
Unnamed. Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit not good to read, but I think that was kind of supposed to be. I was thinking about fat phobia in late capitalism and in the internet. And a few weeks ago, I was I was researching on the painter Rubens, and was remembering that as I have a fat body since I was a kid, my mom told me I am a Rubens woman, a Rubensfrau in German. Typing in Rubensfrau in Google, and the only pictures that appeared were pornographic pictures of fat women. And that was really shocking for me. So I a little more on that topic, and today I was thinking about that there is either female body or a lot of health advices for women with fat bodies.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I think also maybe like also internet has this thing like these codes, and maybe what you discovered is is one of these codes for tagging these pictures. Like I think in other yes, like I've seen some tags that are something unrelated that goes exactly to one specific type of image, and I think yes, this happens a lot in the internet, like coded tagging images.
Cool. Thank you a lot for sharing.
I think it's very interesting that you're finding. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting discovery you've made.
Mm-hmm. Very
Yes, well,
layered understanding.
Yeah. Now, in COVID or Corona times, hashtags about weight gaining through the quarantine popped up, and also there are a lot of advices for not getting fat during Corona, and this is something I discovered.
Wow,
Yes,
that's interesting. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Carmen, for your contribution. Now it's time for us to finalize this workshop. Thank you very much for your attention and active collaboration. We would also like to thank the wonderful team of Digital Feminism and HIU organization for the invitation to share this workshop with you. The Zine will be available in the Digital Feminism website and in the Algorithms of Late-Capitalism blog and the Instagram. Remember to also follow Algorithms of Late-Capitalism on Instagram, and please don't hesitate to get in touch with us if you have any collaborations in mind at internetteapot@gmail.com.
Yeah, or if you're doing anything interesting that you'd like to share, that would also be cool, and we'd also love to share that. We also, what we really like is people contributing with their own things. I think it's cool that a lot of you find your own images and find your own kind of things that kind of qualify as, you know, algorithms of late-capitalism, which is awesome. And if you ever find more, you can just send us either on Instagram or even on email.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
thanks
stay safe. Over and out.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, guys.